We begin with the growing Russia-India bonhomie against the backdrop of sweeping US tariffs on Indian imports. On Thursday, Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar met with Russian President Vladimir Putin during his visit to Moscow. Now, before we delve into what the duo discussed, let's first show you how Putin met Jaishankar. The Russian leader could be seen smiling ear to ear upon entering the room. He then made some hand gestures while walking toward the Indian minister, and then the duo shook hands. The talks focused on bilateral ties, Russia's war in Ukraine, and other contemporary global issues of mutual interest. After the meeting, Jaishankar said that he also conveyed the warm greetings from Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Now, earlier, Jaishankar also met with his Russian counterpart, Sergei Lavrov. The Indian minister underlined India-Russia ties as the steadiest in the world.
That India and Russia have nurtured one of the steadiest relationships between major nations in current times is now widely recognized.
The sentiment was echoed by Lavrov, who described the ties as a special strategic partnership.
We define our relations as a special strategic partnership, and this was defined by our leaders, and I hope that we fully justify these links at the level of links.
Jaishankar was on a 3-day visit to Russia. His meetings were focused on strengthening ties between India and Russia. This mainly includes trade, defense cooperation, and energy. India and Russia are pushing for rupee-ruble trade mechanisms. The talks also set the stage for Putin's visit to India later this year. The warm diplomatic engagement between India and Russia followed Trump's announcement of 50% tariffs on Indian imports. 25% of these tariffs came into effect on the 6th of August, while the remaining will be applicable from the 27th of August. This includes 25% duties for buying oil from Russia. Washington says India's purchase of Russian oil is indirectly funding Moscow's war in Ukraine. According to the White House, these tariffs are a way to pressure Russia by constraining its trade partners. The US is lecturing India on purchasing oil from Russia, but the West is yet to cut its trade ties with Russia. Jaishankar exposed the West's hypocrisy in Moscow. He said that India is not the biggest purchaser of Russian oil. China is. But the Trump administration has halted its tariffs on Chinese imports. He also highlighted the European Union's LNG imports from Russia.
We are not the biggest purchasers of Russian oil. That is China. We are not the biggest purchasers of Russian LNG. I'm not sure, but I think that is the European Union. We are not the country which has the biggest trade surge with Russia after 2022. I think there are some countries to the south. We are a country where actually the Americans said for the last few years that we should do everything to stabilize the world energy markets, including buying oil from Russia.
Trump's aggressive trade policies pose a major challenge to the growing India-Russia ties. But the message from Jaishankar's visit seems clear. India's foreign policy will be chalked out in New Delhi, not DC.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka karjo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
4 兆ドル以上も
Portuguese,
por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish,
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.